everyone, and this is the last autumn video in this year. This year has been very little time for reading, so everything I have read this autumn will fit into one video. Let's go! The first book is actually very unpopular. I have never heard about it on BookTok, so I stumbled upon it accidentally, buried among other books in a bookstore. This book was very cheap for its size, but my intuition told me that it was worth the attention, and it's Medici's Daughter by Sophie Perrineau. Winter 1564. Beautiful young Princess Margot is summoned to the court of France, where nothing is what it seems and the wrong word can lead to ruin. Known across Europe as Madame Le Serpent, Margot's intimidating mother, Queen Catherine de' Medici, is a powerful force in a country devastated by religious war. Among the crafty nobility of the royal court, Margot learned the intriguing and unspoken rules she must live by to please her poisoned family. It's actually quite a painful story, and times I felt sorry for the main characters, but sometimes life turns out to be quite unexpected and there is simply no room for happiness in it. So, if you enjoy historical novels and stories based on real events that tug at the heartstrings, I recommend reading it. The next book is only in Ukrainian. Unfortunately, it hasn't been translated even into English, but I can't help mentioning it. And it's I See You Are Interested in Darkness by Ilarion Pavlyuk. Kiev criminal psychologist Andrei Heister is sent as a consultant to the godforsaken village of Buskivsad. On a winter night, a little girl disappeared there. Moreover, there is a beast, a serial killer whose murders the local residents prefer to ignore. In this cursed village, where everything is on a loop and everyone lives a life they hate, the investigations constantly hit a dead end. Andrei believes that the lost girl, despite everything, is alive and he will find her, but no one else needs it but him. I See You Are Interested in Darkness is a story about unbreakable human indifference and the darkness within us, about being honest with yourself and the price we are willing to pay for oblivion, about materializing sins and redemption that is more expensive than peace. It's very profound, so after reading it, I watched a 1 hour and a half analysis of the references in the book, and after that it felt like I hadn't read it at all but just skimmed through it. There are references to Alice in Wonderland and Dante Alighieri, and most importantly, two interpretations. If you don't believe in mysticism, the ending can be entirely logical, but if you do, it can become somewhat surreal. All of this makes the book original in its genre and unique, so if you know Ukrainian, you should read it. You won't regret it. I have long wanted to get acquainted with this author. Everyone says that it was impossible to cast the murderer in her books, and it's Agatha Christie. I thought for a long time about which book to start with and decided to follow the list provided in this edition and then read everything else. And the first book I chose was And Then There Were None. First there were 10 curious assortment of strangers summoned as weekend guests to a little private island off the coast of Devon. Their host, an eccentric millionaire unknown to all of them, is nowhere to be found. All that the guests have in common is a wicked past they are unwilling to reveal, and a secret that will seal their fate. For each has been marked for a murder. A famous nursery rhyme is framed and hung in every room of the mansion. When they realize that murders are occurring as described in the rhyme, terror mounts. One by one they fall prey. Before the weekend is out, there will be none. Who was choreographed this dastardly scheme, and who will be left to tell the tale? Only the dead are above suspicion. I have always cast the murderers in books, except for Agatha Christie's, so I think everyone should get to know this author because she truly is the Duchess of Death. The next book I read with you in 24-hour challenge. If you are interested, take a look. The link will be here or here. And it's Heartless by Marissa Meyer. A little traitor. I don't know how many times you have heard about it, but this book is worth it. It's an incredible story that answers the main question, why? Why did we get this particular image of the Queen of Hearts? It all started a long time ago with an original girl who loves to bake, her best friend with whom she dreams of opening a bakery, the ever-gossipy Cheshire, and a new jester who has just arrived in the kingdom. When everything began to fall apart before their eyes, and how one choice ruined four lives. You will find out if you read the book. This is unparalleled fantastic story from the Queen of Retellings. It has everything: humor, history, and of course, Wonderland. So, if you haven't yet had the chance to get acquainted with the story, go ahead. You won't regret it. Oh, I almost forgot to warn you, read this book with something tasty because there are a lot of descriptions of baking. And the last book I have read with you together again. Once more, the link will be here or here, and it's Sanatorium by Sarah Pearse. If you want to get your nerves tingling, especially with the winter atmosphere of bone-chilling cold, then this thriller is for you. Detective Ellen Warner, currently on a break from her career, travels to her brother's engagement at the Les Sommets Hotel. It is located among the snow-covered peaks of the Swiss Alps, based in an old sanatorium building. Everything goes smoothly until one morning when the bride-to-be Laure disappears, leaving all her belongings in the room. The next day, the body of a hotel employee is found. Heavy snowfall has blocked the roads, leaving all the hotel guests trapped in a snowy prison with a murderer. At first, I didn't like it because there is something unpleasant in my soul after reading it, but after a few days I realized that the book had simply scared me. First and foremost, the greatest monster is human itself, not mystical creatures, and that is truly terrifying, so I recommended reading it, especially in winter, as it has a cold and wintry atmosphere. Well, that's all for now. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye bye!